Welcome to the channel, bringing a real-world perspective to the real-world whiskey consumer.
And welcome back to our Topical Tuesday videos where we like to start conversations with you guys, the whiskey community. And today we are talking about the guaranteed surefire way to find the whiskey that you love the most. If you're anything like me, at least, I know you don't really suffer from this, but if you're anything like me, you get to looking around and you get to see in whiskey nerd talk about all kinds of cool bottles. And
I mean, there's a ton out there. I think it's easy to feel overwhelmed by all the options and like possibilities.
And not only that, but all the stuff that you want that you can't get your hands on. You don't even know whether you're going to like it or not, but everybody else seems to like it, or at least everybody else seems to be buying it and trying it, or most people do, or some people do. And you don't know how much they paid for it. You don't know where they got it at. You don't know how they got it. There could be some shady stuff involved. You never really know. Myself, for instance, and I can only speak for myself, but once upon a time, I really liked Weller 107. Weller Antique 107, I was ready to spend all my fun money every month on trying to get as many bottles of Weller 107 as I could, because I got to try it with some family members during a barbecue and they were in town. It was this big memorable moment. They came over and saw our house for the first time, and you know, the moment built the whiskey up. And then I got another bottle of it, started putting it in some blind head-to-heads and blind tastings and blind flights, found out that I didn't like it nearly as much as I thought I did when I was not realizing I was tasting Weller Antique 107. I use that as a perfect example because it literally is the perfect example to find the whiskey that you love. We don't want to bury the lead here. We actually think the best way to find the whiskey you love is through blind tastings. Sharing whiskey with friends, building a network, having a good time that way, rather than, you know, if you like hunting bottles, then by all means go for it. And this hobby does absolutely offer that as an avenue if that is your thing. But if it's not your thing, build some community, build a network, start sharing some samples. And once you get some samples from other people of stuff that you haven't had, and you're able to share some of the things that you have that maybe they haven't had, you can grab some of these little sample jars that you see us use all the time here on the channel. And we've got 6 over here for some stuff that we're working on right now. But grab you some of these sample jars, and we will put a link for these down in the description below. And then all you have to do is take these, fill them up with your favorite whiskeys, stick a little label on the bottom of them, or if you don't have a label maker, what I used to do is just take some painter's tape and stick it on the bottom and a Sharpie and write a number on it. You can't see through that. And then, you know, what I do is take a key, like a piece of paper, and write down, you know, I wrote number 2 on this sample, and I wrote number 5 on this sample. I write what it is, and then I mix all those up. It's usually good to have like a dozen, 24, or something like that. Even 6 will work though. Mix them up and just randomly go over one night, draw one out, take the top off, pour it, taste it totally blind so that you don't know which one of those samples you're tasting. Preferably, again, with some samples that you can get from some other people so that you can, you know, try some things you've never tried before, and you might be surprised at the results.
So I want to circle back to something you said about hunting for whiskey. Sometimes it is the thrill of the chase that is exciting. But that being said, if you do your blind tastings, you find out what you really, really like, and then it makes your hunting more worth it because you know, let's say you have 24 samples and 2 of them are just awesome every time, and you want to hunt for those, you know you're going to love what you get. So it makes it more, it gets you more return on your investment, so to speak. Yeah.
Quite frankly, I would say it saved me money. And Aaron might laugh at that.
No, it's true though.
But yeah, I mean,
I agree.
The way that it saves me money is that I have tasted things that I have been fortunate enough to have samples from friends of, and I've shared samples of things that I have with friends. And what ends up happening through blind tastings is we find out what we like and what we don't. And now I know that I don't have to hunt these bottles that everyone else is hunting because I don't really like them all that much. And honestly, this whole concept right here is a little bit of the genesis of this YouTube channel. I'm not saying go start a YouTube channel unless you want to, and then by all means do it. But we've had a bunch of samples, and I had enough stuff, enough allocated stuff, and I had enough available stuff that I built a 32 pour bracket and tasted through it double blind. And I thought for sure the allocated stuff would rise to the top and win hands down. Most of it lost in the first or second round, and at the very end, 3 out of the 4 samples were completely available, just sitting on shelves everywhere. And what ended up winning the whole dang thing was Wild Turkey. It was actually Wild Turkey Rare Breed versus a Russell's Reserve single barrel pick in the finals.
Wow.
Took it all the way to the end, and those are bottles, or at least at that time, those are bottles you could pick up on the shelf.
Yeah.
Russells are getting a little harder to find these days, but Wild Turkey is not sought after, and it just fits our flavor profile very well. I know that because I found it out through the blind tastings, and then I poured Erin some Rare Breed blind, and I said, here, taste this. And I remember the first time she tried it.
It was like heaven.
Yeah, she was blown away. She was like, ooh, this smells like an old library with dusty books and
a good thing.
And a man wearing a leather coat and
no, leather books and a man wearing a cardigan.
Okay.
Cardigan is the key.
Okay, there you go. So nonetheless, we found out through this methodology right here what our favorite whiskey was. Don't let the FOMO get to you. Don't let the fear of missing out have you out here going crazy for bottles. You know, by all means, again, hunt if you want to, but if
you can hunt if you want to.
Right.
You can leave your friends behind. And if you don't hunt something, don't hunt. You ain't no friend of mine.
I don't even know what she's talking about, but you probably do. Leave it in the comments below.
If you know what song I'm totally doing a horrible job of recreating, let me know.
And if you've done blind tastings like this and you've found out some things that you really like that you didn't think you liked as much as you did, leave that stuff down there in the comments below. We would be fascinated to see.
Yeah.
And honestly, your comments help other people who are looking through the comments section know that, hey, some of this hyped up stuff maybe isn't all it's cracked up to be.
True.
And maybe there's things sitting on the shelf that I've been passing over that I need to give a second look.
So that's it for our main topic. Speaking of second looks, though, what's our other stuff today?
So we told you guys a few weeks ago about Lawrence and that acoustic studio session for Don't Lose Sight. But we're going to hit you with another one, a second look on Lawrence at The Weather. And this is another acoustic studio session that they did. And this one is like I think it's like called a gospel reprise or something. It is very interesting. It's very good. I don't like it as much as Don't Lose Sight. My other stuff might just be go watch Don't Lose Sight again. But I'm going to put The Weather down there as well. And it'll be in the video description below. It's well worth 5 minutes of your time to check out this amazing talent that these people have. It's unreal. Hope it makes your day.
If this video made your day, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, do the thing, subscribe. And also you can hit that bell notification to be notified when we post videos and have our monthly live streams.
That's it for this one. Be good to each other. And until next time, cheers.